Cruising down the highway, windows down low, sunset paints the sky
Welcome to another episode of Talking Cars. Today's guest is somebody that is not unfamiliar to you. He is an absolute masterclass chef. He has a couple of restaurants and just a fun-loving, car-loving guy.
Here's my version of lamb and rice. Super simple, but packed with flavor. Let's get into it. What is it like a nice rich beef and red wine stew in the winter? This is how I like to serve mine. You know, after a heavy weekend, my body craves something light and nourishing. This lentil soup is exactly that.
He's a world-class chef. He is, of course, Mr. Reuben Riffel.
Thanks for the invite.
Oh man, it's such a pleasure. Do you know what? I went through your Instagram, right? And I just had a squiz through the cars, but then I actually went into what you follow, right? And then I saw all the car stuff, and I thought to myself, I have to chat to this guy. He is a proper car fanatic.
Since I was like a little boy, I think it's been a love of mine, you know.
Wow.
Sometimes from the outside and you just admire,
Yes,
you know, and
yes.
then now and then I've kind of like dipped my
Your
sort
finger.
of toe into sort of things that I really kind of dreams, you know, like it's nice to kind of touch it sometimes.
Yes, and things that resonates with you. Probably.
Yes, yes.
Wow. I love that. So this is obviously Talking Cars, and the premise of the show is obviously talking about cars, talking about your car journey, talking about anything that has happened to you while owning cars, etc. Right? So let's start at the beginning. Your license. When did you get that?
Wow. You know, actually, when I started my first job, they kind of forced me to get my license because my dad, we didn't have a family car.
Okay, I get you.
And then when I got my job, I worked there, and then they needed somebody to also help with the staff transport at that stage.
Okay.
And so this was, look, I'm gonna give my age away. This was sort of like in the 90s,
Probably 90s?
the late 90s.
Late 90s, yeah?
Yes, late 90s or early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
Yeah.
Wow. And what did you pass out on? Because I know back then people passed out on some weird cars.
No, I think mine was like a Mazda 323
A 323.
or something.
We used to call that a Mazda Rati.
Yeah, Mazda.
A Mazda
I love
foot to
that. Actually, quite an easy car to drive. That's why, you know, it's
See, it's either those, a Toyota Taz, or
Yes.
a City Golf back in the day.
so easy to drive, and I think that really helped me to actually pass my license, especially
And-
when you have to go the
hill?
the handbrake
Oh,
on the
yeah.
hill.
But now here's the other thing. So, did you have to do the K53 back then?
Yes.
Oh, it just came in.
Yes.
Oh man, that was
Yes.
like the most. I also got my license in that time,
Yeah.
where it just came in, and I thought to myself, why must these people do this now?
I went through the same thing because you know it is when you go for your license, you actually really you take it really seriously.
Exactly, and you're nervous, to be honest
You're
with you.
super nervous, and I mean, thinking back now, I actually had this discussion with my son the other day. I said
Yeah.
to him, "Listen, boy, it's us human beings. We kind of like driving a car becomes like second nature.
Exactly. Over time, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But how they teach you is completely. I don't want to say it like that, but you know.
But it is actually.
Yeah.
It goes against the grain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's almost unnatural in that way. You still want to
It's
drive
the push
safely.
pull and
Yeah.
it feels unnatural.
Exactly.
But okay, the main thing is you got it.
I got it. I didn't buy it.
And what was your first car?
My first car was a Nissan Sentra, a white Nissan
Nissan
Sentra.
Sentra. The box one or which one?
1.6 GL.
Oh, it's a classic there.
You know, I've always been one of these guys that I always believe my car goes faster than what actually goes. You know.
I think
So
every-
yeah, so when you're on the N1, you like think, no man, I can take this. Not, you know, when you're young, you sometimes do these silly things.
You just floored it.
Yeah, I'm gonna floor it. I can stay with this BMW until you realize no, you can't.
No, that's amazing, man. And tell me something. Have you had any funny car stories, any accidents that have happened to you over the years? Because obviously you've driven for a long time now.
Yeah. Look, I've been lucky not to have major accidents.
Yeah.
You know, but
Little fender benders, stuff like that?
Yeah, I've had, you know, being in my industry, I remember like early on when I had a girlfriend, you work late hours, and then I remember she one morning got me from Franschhoek to take her to a hair salon in Somerset West.
Wow.
And then I was a little bit late, and I'm rushing to get there.
Yes.
And I was driving, I had a Opel Astra at that stage, you know, and drove over a red light. The light just turned red.
Where was this more or less?
In Somerset.
In Somerset.
On that road as you come, you know,
Past the Lord Charles Somerset?
Just past the Lord Charles, turning left.
Okay.
And then and I drove into quite a nice car, which was also bad. You know, it was, what was it? You had the box-shaped Corolla back then, but it's almost like with the bigger back area.
Oh,
what did you call those? Avant?
Yes, the Avant.
Yes.
Yeah. That's right.
Crashed into an Avant. You know, I felt so sorry for the
Shame,
car.
man. But was there major damage on his end, or
not so much?
Okay.
And also mine was just sort of slightly sort of bent bonnet, so it did press on it a little bit, but it wasn't
nothing major.
it wasn't a major thing.
As long as you're okay, that's
Well, there's more. The other one, actually, with my Nissan, this was also hard partying days as a chef, you know, and then you go home late.
Probably a lot of those.
Yeah, and then one night I stupidly gave my keys to my friend to drive it, and as we drove into the garage to put some fuel in, instead of braking, he went onto the accelerator, and we drove over a petrol pump.
What? Like out of the ground?
Basically, the car was standing like this.
At an angle?
Yeah, with a petrol pump lying underneath. That's when I kind of like woke up.
Okay.
I should, you know, the parting, I should go home a little bit earlier.
Exactly, and also maybe not just give your key to anybody to drive your car.
Never again. I've never done that again.
Okay, so you are obviously a massive car enthusiast, and you've had some amazing cars, right? Your favorite car of all time? I know it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one, but I have to ask you, what would that be?
Oh, look, if I have to
I know you're a Mercedes-Benz fan.
I am, but I'm a Mercedes-Benz early Mercedes-Benz fan. You know, I like the new stuff, but I'm not
the classics that really get you
like I'm not. You know, when people go G-wagons and that's not really. That doesn't
do anything for you.
Doesn't excite me.
Yeah.
So I do love the old classic Mercs. And because you can't really, those cars are like so. There's so few of them.
Correct. It's very rare.
Yeah. So
as 100 tanden.
Yeah. But I have to say, this is now not a Mercedes.
Yeah.
My dream car would be a Porsche, but the Singer. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So the old classic look.
It's like a resto mod.
A resto mod.
Oh.
Yeah. I've just followed those guys, you know, since I saw them. I think it was on Top Gear.
Yes.
Then I saw them on Jay Leno's show.
And I think they've got their own channel also on YouTube. Yes, yeah.
So, and when I saw that, I was like, this would be, you know, it's timeless.
I was just about to, those. I think it's the 1980s and late 70s Porsche shapes.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously that's where the 911 comes in.
Yeah.
But also the Targa.
Yeah.
Right. And the way that Singer and I think RUF,
yes,
they do it as well.
Yeah.
The resto mods that they create is absolutely insane because it looks like an old car.
Yeah.
But everything on the inside is modern. There's power steering. There's everything that you. So it would be the perfect blend, I think, in today's society.
I feel almost, and I mean, obviously, it's already happening a lot in the US, especially. There's some guys that's also taking the old classic American cars.
Yes,
I think it's called the Ring Brothers.
Correct.
And they're doing something similar.
Correct.
Then there's other guys that's turning those cars into sort of electric cars.
They do actually. I don't know if you saw the Bronco, the
Yes,
Ford Bronco.
yes,
they
yes,
love
yes.
doing it with those
Yes,
as well.
I saw.
Yes.
I think it's such a clever thing because, you know, you obviously you want a bit of reliability. You know, so if you can
You don't want to drive 20 kilometers down the road.
And I mean, that's obviously if you own sort of like an old classic car,
Yes.
the reality is you have to look after it,
Correct.
and it's somewhere along the way it's going to drop you
And
maybe.
it's going to be like a weekend or a Sunday car type of thing. It's obviously not the daily.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But let's say you have something that looks period, but it's a reliable thing that you can use.
It's actually
every day.
modern underneath. What more could you want, eh?
I actually feel that there's going to be more of that happening. You know, it's almost like the car companies are going to get more and more modern.
Correct.
You know, you can see we're all fighting against electric cars, and then there's
And
these
that's a
other
fight
guys.
that I want us to win.
Yeah. Well, we've already won it. Now they kind of, you can see they kind of like
They're going
have
back
to go
to
back to the drawing board. a
ICE
little bit.
engines. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is also, I think we spoke about this earlier, is that a lot of the modern cars they don't have that soul, that sort of, passion where you can feel the rawness of. I mean, we drove here in a Cobra, a V8 Cobra, and your reaction from that,
Yeah.
it's you can't equate that.
But just, a good example for me is the car corporate companies.
Yeah.
They take something like, they had the opportunity to the VW Beetle.
Yes, correct.
To reimagine that and bring that, and look at what a disaster that was. I don't even see those cars on the road anymore.
It's a funny thing that you actually mentioned that, because you tend to see more old
Old
Beetles
Beetles,
as opposed to
exactly.
the newer ones on the
Exactly.
road. And they had a golden opportunity to actually do something great with
Then
it.
they go and do something and then put a little flower, and I'm like, it just shows you.
Who runs the show?
I understand it's not so easy, but certain things, I feel they make like really big mistakes.
Correct.
Where
Correct.
that could have become like, like iconic, like what they've done with Porsche, and the shape that stays sort of like it
Not
doesn't
much
change
changes.
too much. Doesn't change
yes,
too much.
it's like bits here, bits there, and so forth.
Yeah.
You know what I also feel, right, is that internal combustion engines, like your proper, your 4 cylinders, V6s, V8s, V10s, V12s, and so forth, the sound of it just wakes things up in you. If you're a car enthusiast, right, you can't equate that to no sound in an EV or anything like that.
Interestingly, this morning I was talking, because sometimes when it comes to food, for example,
Which is, by the way, what he does.
Yeah, that's
He's
what
a
I do.
chef.
That's what I'm a chef. But people kind of like, especially when you start talking recipes,
Yes.
then people take it very matter of fact. It's like just straight lines everywhere.
Exactly.
And the reality is not straight lines. It's the tiny little speck of detail in between that
Exactly.
makes it
It's the grey areas.
the grey areas,
Yes.
So I'm explaining to this lady like cooking a steak.
Yes.
To most people, if I explain it to them in a little detail, they won't get it because
Yeah.
maybe they don't cook that much.
Yeah.
But when I start talking about seasoning and temperature and rendering the fat, even
Yes.
off a little steak, not just in a pan, there you go,
Yes.
If you give it attention and do the tiny little bit of things right,
Yeah.
then you're gonna end up with something that just tastes so much better, without having to lace it with the
Correct.
stuff that you have to put on top now.
I think you hit the nail on the head with things generally across the board in life. I think it's the small things that people need
Small
to.
things.
Yes.
It's the
yes.
small things, and then, so let's say now with a car, you want something that just goes fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sound because you don't want to
Disturb or
you don't want to
Yeah.
make the people angry, your neighbors or whatever. I
Yeah.
understand. And it's clinical, it's like a clinical kind of thing. And then and I understand this is how car people feel. It's
Yeah.
like taking away that visceral
essence,
visceral
yes.
enjoyment of us. We resonate, or we kind of relate to sound.
Correct.
When it comes to cars, especially smell,
Feel your bum on the seat, how it feels
feedback.
actually. Yes. Exactly.
So we don't want to just get in,
switch it on,
and
then
it makes some machine or whatever sound it makes.
yes, exactly.
I think that kind of like doesn't resonate with us.
No.
And I can't think that it will ever excite you. So we can't take stuff out of the world that stops exciting us, because
Correct.
what type of life are we living then, you know?
You're living a life that I feel lacks passion and also emotion, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. And I think there's nothing there, basically.
But that's the thing, you know, and we have to acknowledge that just straight up technology moving in a direction where we feel this is the only way the world is going to go to. We don't need to go along with all of that always.
It's a decision after.
I always feel that that's kind of, you know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I kind of like always feel like it's almost like a decision made that we all have to fall in line. This is where we're going.
Exactly.
We don't need to be like that.
See now, you touched on conspiracy theories and stuff. So this is my thing, is that we are individuals, right? And there's nothing that is forcing us to go into a certain direction, other than obviously going with the crowd or a trend or that type of thing. And all of these things, it's just trend. You don't need to jump on it if you don't like.
Exactly. Look,
That's
it's
the
trends, and also the reality is certain things are designed for us to fall into a certain system.
Correct.
If you buy a car, you buy it with a service plan, and then when the service plan lapses, then you must be careful because
are you going to sell it? Are you going to extend the motor plan? You know,
or it's better to sell it now. Yeah. Now you're going to buy a new car. You know, and that's why I remember I used to be like that. You know, where I feel okay, now it's time for it.
Do you know what's that called? It's called being sensible.
Yes.
That's what they say. It's called being sensible.
Yes. But now you know how many amazing guys are out there working on cars. If you can sort of know about these people, then I don't need to be worried about my car.
If you have an older car, you don't need to. You see, this is the thing. I feel like obviously people recently or nowadays, right? They have mastered the art of working on any car, right? So if you have a proper guide that you can take your car to, you can have any car.
Yeah.
For as long as you want. On that topic, we need to get into this. So your cars that you have had in the past, right? Let's list it quickly. What have you had? Because I know you're a car enthusiast.
You know, I'll start by saying, I'll just start by saying, I had this sort of, I just wanted to drive. You know, that's why I actually love that Nissan Sentra, that I really liked it. And
those cars came standard with 16 valve twin cam engines, so it was nippy.
Yes, but my friends at that stage they were still with the Ford Sierras, XR6s,
those big
like
sixes and stuff.
Yeah, you know, they always seem to have a lot more fun than what I had, you know.
And it's rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, and then I come, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna also get but I didn't want to go in that direction, so I got a VR6. Yeah.
Oh.
So after my Nissan, I got a Golf VR6.
You should have kept that.
Yes, I know.
Oh.
And
I think that, along with the BMW 325i's sound, it's the two, I think, of back in the day, the best sounding cars you could have gotten.
Stunning. You know, and I bought it secondhand from a doctor, I remember, from Belleville.
Yeah.
He brought the car to me, and I was like, wow, what the hell is this thing? You know, because prior to that, I really liked the 16 valve, the old shape, what was it, like it was the old GTI basically.
Oh yes, yeah. Are you talking about the Golf 3?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so then I loved that car. I remember I had some issues with it later on, and then you know, I was kind of like buying cars that was a little bit outside of my reach at that stage. So I had to, I pulled back a little bit from that. Then
you were sensible, but
think about it. I meant to go from, and then I went back to like being sensible. I remember that a Renault Clio came out, and that's a big guy, but I thought, okay, let me just get this thing.
Yeah, it's light and fuel, all of those things.
Then
but also, it's a French car.
Yeah. Look, I didn't have it for a long time.
Okay.
I went to work overseas a little bit. I think I had it like for 5 months, and then I left.
Okay.
And then when I came back, I got the normal Golf. What was it? I mean, they had these. I think it's discontinued now. I don't think they make that shape anymore. The normal shaped Golf that the Chicos.
Yeah, the city golfs.
The city Golf.
Yes, yeah.
So then I bought one of those.
This is after you returned.
I returned back to South Africa just as a runaround. I bought that, and then when I started to work, the first thing I bought was a 1.8 turbo Golf, and then I took it to Steve's Auto Clinic to soup it up for me as well.
Did you put on a filter also?
Yeah, doing silly things like that. And in that same time, I ordered the new GTI just came out.
Okay.
So I remember
the revised the Golf 5 GTI.
the newest one as it came out. When it came out without those cool wheels and everything.
Yes.
And so I spec'd one for I spec'd one like a really nice anthracite grey car, beautiful car. Then I went into Audi's. I had the S3.
Also, those are phenomenal cars also.
Stunning.
Oh, I love those
all-wheel drive.
Yes, the Quattro system was just amazing on that.
Really loved that thing. And then I started a family, so then I got into...
you need to go sensible again.
Yeah, I went sensible again, but actually stupid also. I started to go into, the block-shaped Range Rovers. So I went into that. I had a car like that for a couple of years. Went into BMW X5s a little bit. I actually was sponsored by them for a while. Okay. And then one year, I was watching this Top Gear show, and Jeremy Clarkson was like going crazy with his M135i. But it was like a coupe.
Yes, I remember
that car.
Yeah.
And
he dubbed it as the original M3 Levi's.
Exactly.
I remember that.
I was watching that clip again on YouTube the other day. So I bought that thing. Then I was like in a BMW thing, I got the M4 that came out.
Yeah.
I went after that. I then stayed with bigger cars again.
Okay.
And then until I got to sort of my dream car.
Yeah.
That I've always wanted was I bought the 911 GTS, the Carrera GTS.
Wow, that must have been crazy.
I bought it second hand. It had like 10,000 kilometers on the clock, so fairly new. And that was like a stunning car. But I was never like I was not I wanted to just drive the car. Sometimes I didn't like the GTS, those wheel cap. When something went wrong with the wheel, you had to call Porsche.
To come actually, You couldn't do things.
I didn't like that about it.
I get you.
And so then I had another car that I really liked was the X6 M50 diesel.
Ooh, my brother actually had one of those also. It's amazing.
That car I really
And because
enjoyed.
it's a diesel, the low-down torque was amazing.
That on the the open road, that thing was like, that was one of my favorite cars. I have to say.
If you could go back, you would.
Yeah, I still see them today, and I'm like, I really enjoyed that car. And until now, I've got a Ford Raptor Buck, the V6.
But those are insane. Also the power, and obviously it's turbo.
Yes.
So there's obviously top end speed, but it's low down torque as well.
And I kind of love the fact that I can go on a gravel road. I've driven a few gravel roads now where like this thing,
no issues.
There can be anything in the road, because it's got that Fox shock
suspension.
Yes. So it doesn't feel like the road is.
And also it doesn't feel like you're in a bucky, basically.
It's just heavy on fuel. That's the only thing.
Really?
That's the only thing I'll say about that car.
But other than that, you absolutely love that car.
I love it. I really and
it's got size and presence.
Even my kids, if I say to them, I'm now thinking maybe I must buy the new BYD electric, they're like, what? Are you crazy? I'm just kidding with them.
Just to see the reaction.
Yeah. No, I love it. We were chatting earlier. There's certain cars where I feel like, oh no, I don't think I like it as much anymore. With this thing, I drive it. I drive it every day, and for me, it's got presence. It's got size. I can throw stuff anywhere in it. I can put stuff in the back. It's obviously not a workhorse, but it's
a fun vehicle.
It suits my lifestyle.
Yes, and I feel also with vehicles like that, the presence that it has on the road. If you're in the fast lane, people tend to just move out of the way or so.
Easy,
You cruise up at the back of them,
No.
they just move out the way.
And then you get a lot of these other Hilux drivers that always trying to sort of like take you on, you know. They like at full speed, and I'm like, guys, I just want to like cruise home here, man. The fuel is expensive in this thing. I don't want.
Okay, wait.
I don't want to die.
So okay. Those have been the cars that you've had, right? I'm gonna go a bit off track here and just get into what you do, etc. So we were chatting in the car also while driving here. So you've got 3 restaurants,
Yeah.
all 3 in Franschhoek.
Yes.
Okay, and their names, where are they situated?
So my original is Reuben's.
Okay.
And then we're on the Chamonix Wine Farm. It's a restaurant called Arques.
Oh wow.
And then we have a burger place called Let's Friet. So it's basically friet, a play on chips, but it's also kind of a slang for us.
And where's that located?
That's also in Franschhoek.
Is that also in
Yeah.
Franschhoek? I think I have to try that.
Yeah.
I've been to Reuben's.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the one on Chamonix,
Yeah.
but I feel like that
it's
one.
on like a river. It's a really kind of, it looks like a little cabin in the woods.
Like that type of
basically.
vibe.
So very romantic. If
Oh,
you
I have
want
to.
spoil the missus.
I have to
Yeah.
try that. And then tell me, any future endeavors, what would you still like to do in your line of work?
You know, I have to say, because I've been in this game now for quite some
For a
time,
while, yeah.
you know, I feel there's a lot of things that come my way. Not I don't want to say business opportunities. I'm kind of like moving away where I want people to think of me when they want to open a new. I don't want.
Not that type of-
I'll do it myself.
Yeah,
you know?
You know what works. You know what you want to do.
I want to. I make my own plans, and I if I want to start something, then I know I'm in the right space to start something now.
I get
you know,
you. I get
over my, you know, it's a blessing if you get opportunities, but also it can be a blessing and a curse sometimes.
Exactly.
And now I feel like I want to be in the right sort of. I want to feel this is what's needed now, and this is something we can do now. Like now in the next year or so,
Yeah.
we are planning to do something around open fire cooking, but like a bit of a novel thing around what's still considered wild in South Africa from a seafood point of view, a
Okay.
game point of view,
Okay.
and then use the fire to prepare that.
I've actually got a concept that I wanna
Yeah.
throw at you, but we'll chat about that afterwards. Yeah.
Don't give it away off camera, on camera. And then we are planning to do a bistro. You know, where we are especially, we feel there's a lot of high-end fine dining, and we want to bring it back to just
Closer to-
good quality, normal
Yes,
food.
yeah. Almost like home ice
normal
course,
sound.
or
Yeah, maybe more like a bit of, almost like, I would say French, but also a bit of continental classic.
infusion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of, look, and again,
It's not
I
written in
enjoy-
stone or so.
No,
Like
no.
yeah.
I kind of, I enjoy thinking of concepts and then driving that through.
Yes.
It's exciting.
Of course.
It's also sometimes quite daunting because opening a place, that's the start of it. Then there's like a couple of months that goes by where you're kind of still tweaking it and
Redefining it in that type of
redefining
ways.
it, and so I'm there at the moment. Also, obviously, I do a bit of corporate stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I do a little bit of event stuff as
Yeah,
well. And
yeah.
it's kind of a bit of a diverse kind of.
Melting pot that
Yeah,
you're busy with.
I like working in the kitchen, but at the same time, it kind of can suck you in.
I get you.
then
And keep you too busy almost.
Yeah. So I also want to, I've just done a nice tour with some Americans. It's connected to a chef called Anthony Bourdain that...
I love Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah, that obviously passed away a couple of years ago. And these guys worked with him on his travel shows that he used to do.
Yes.
And in that process, they've discovered that, or maybe they also had a lot of people that watched it that said, we also want to go, so they've started tour groups where,
Wow,
and this
that's
is the
amazing.
first time that they brought them to South Africa, but mainly to the Cape. So they've kind of like limited it only to the Cape. And already, I think they were here for 9 days. It was impossible to do
I get
everything
you.
with them.
Of course, it's too little time.
But that's another growing thing, you know, where
It's almost like an Anthony Bourdain experience.
Yes,
that type
yes.
of thing, yeah.
So then I kind of chaperone them. I don't really have to do much, you know.
Yeah.
I just go with them and enjoy it with them.
For
But
sure.
at the same time, you're building relationships.
And networking.
And networking. Look, that's kind of a big thing for me. I like to make connections, and
Correct.
you never know down the line what can come from that.
I think people heavily underrate networking, because
Big time.
networking can actually lead to so much bigger things in life.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking.
Look, more and more, maybe in my career, I feel, for my life, I feel it's so important for people, especially if you want to go into business or even, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
even if you want to be friends, you need
Yeah.
to be able to relate to each other. You need to get along.
Correct.
And I find, for me especially, in my game, in the
Yeah.
restaurant industry especially, we need to be aligned. I want to be aligned with people.
Correct.
You don't want sort of the BS of interpersonal stuff getting in the way, you know, and that's so easy to happen now.
No, definitely, and especially because of social media. Also, yeah. So social media can be excellent and amazing and a blessing, and it can also be a curse.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, but I get what you're saying with regards to being relatable to people, and then also seeing you have similar interests, maybe, you know, that type of thing.
Well, but also I do expect just common decency from people. That it's a good start
Basic,
for me.
yes, exactly. And sometimes that's hard to find also.
Exactly. Tell me about it.
Okay, so one last question with regards to cars. What car would you still love to own?
So, I'll have to go back to, you know, if it's a modern car now that I know that I keep on checking out that I really like, is the Porsche GT3 Touring. You know, but without the wing.
Yes.
I don't mind the wing, but I prefer the understatedness of the
It's
Touring.
a sleek look also.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like that so much. I always go back to it. That's a car that I would want to have over a long time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not I can admire a Lamborghini, I can admire
A Bugatti, even
a
all of
Bugatti.
these. Yeah.
I've had a cousin that worked for Ferrari for a long time, you know, and she used to it wasn't like I can call her and say, Roxanne, I want to come and drive your cars.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of work with them as well.
Yeah.
But over the years, I've been lucky to, I've driven the Roma, and some of the other sort of
California, probably all of those.
California I've driven. I like looking at them, but it's not a car that I sort of dream of owning.
Yeah.
Even not a Lamborghini. It's weird, because it's actually amazing cars.
No, it's phenomenal cars.
Yeah.
But I think we spoke about this earlier, so it's what you resonate with.
Yes.
Right? And I think with especially modern Ferraris, right? I feel like it's become a little bit more detached from their traditional base.
Yeah.
Because for me personally, if I think of Ferrari, then I think when I grew up, the Testarossa and those kind of cars. And then before that, even the lines of a 250 GTB. You know, those are beautiful cars.
Stunning.
And if you look at the modern Ferraris, they sort of look more or less similar to all the other supercars.
But that's why I think that there's also too many cars. It's difficult to distinguish. I've got a loss between, what is it now? 4,
This looks like that.
5,
And then
8, what is that? And,
That is
sometimes even certain McLarens kind of like look similar
Yes,
to
exactly.
If McLaren is in red, you kind of like almost like
looks very similar to a Ferrari also,
yeah.
eh? That's crazy. But one of the cars that I also feel is just it's magic for me is the Koenigseggs.
oh no, but that's
Christian van Koenigsegg,
I love that.
and for that matter, Horacio Pagani with Paganis
Yeah.
also. I think they've sort of restored the modern feel and passion of what supercars are.
No, but especially Pagani.
Yeah.
That's a really great balance in terms of, you know,
Aesthetic
the
and-
aesthetic, the way it looks, especially inside, that detail of that.
Like
And-
the exposed gearing and
No. I mean, it shows you, you know, like let's say somebody. I mean, nowadays there's so many of these people that
Yeah.
money is no issue.
Yeah.
And that's why you can see now with car companies how they have to, I mean, Ferrari does it, Porsche does it now, where you can't just come in and buy the car.
Well, that's the thing. And
always,
Ferrari loves doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
They say you must first own a second-hand Ferrari
Yeah.
before you can actually be on
Yeah.
the list for a new one.
Yes, yes.
Oh.
So I think that's all ways to kind of make people feel. I think that's also a manufactured thing, to be honest.
No, it
you
is.
know?
It's creating that effect of exclusivity.
Yeah,
you know.
it doesn't mean that even if you have loads of money, you can't just walk in and buy the car. You know.
It's the same as a Rolex also, or
Yeah.
any of those Patek Philippe, or any of those
Yeah.
watches as well. It's like, for you to get on the list, you have to be of a certain caliber or status or that type of thing.
Hey, where have you heard of something like that? You're trying to sell something, but then when somebody wants to come and buy it, you say no,
No,
sorry,
no.
this is not how it works.
Regardless if you have millions,
Yeah.
we need you to be this, and that.
Yeah.
It's crazy, eh?
But they know the psyche of people. They know then that guy's gonna.
I wanted more.
I'm gonna show you now. I want this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you could get somebody like a Jacob & Co. that just creates his own watches.
Exactly. Yeah. Stop you guys. I'm gonna make that.
But Reuben, this has been absolutely amazing.
No, thank you very much.
We're gonna take a drive now
Can't wait
and
to hear
just,
that again.
just to have some fun.
Love it.
My man, thanks so much for popping
Thanks,
by.
eh? Thanks.
This is
It was
good,
lekker.
man.
Really enjoyed it. Thank you
That
very
was
much.
awesome. Reuben and I just finished the interview, and we are about to take a cruise around Sea Point Promenade and just feel what the Cobra experience is all about. Reuben, first impressions?
It's the sound. It's just that I can feel the vibration. I love it.
The visceral sort of feel of it. Eh?
And obviously we're lucky. We have this beautiful blue sky, beautiful day.
Yep,
It's just a perfect car to be in.
exactly.
Ugh.
There's nothing like American muscle, eh?
It's funny how a V8 can be tuned into so many different directions in terms of sound. This is like, for me, one of the best.
I agree with you, because you can get an Aston Martin V8, you
Yeah.
can get a Ferrari V8, and you can get an American muscle. All of them sound different, yet they are V8.
That sounds angry, you know?
That's the common theme that I feel that people have with these cars.
Yeah.
It's so muscular also, you know?
That's the thing. It's that type of personality that kind of, that excites you.
And also I feel like this car sort of gives you presence on the road also, eh?
Of course.
It's that sort of get out of my way.
But it's a two-seater
Yep.
with a V8 engine. Look at that massive
The hump.
that hump there in front, so you know it's got power.
Exactly.
And all the power's on the back wheel, so you also know you have to respect it.
Very, very important mention that you just did
Yeah,
there, right?
yeah.
Is respecting the power.
Yeah, so I like the fact that you can enjoy it, but you're also a little bit scared of it, you know.
That's the thing that I also feel like modern cars, they don't do that.
No.
Right? There's so many aids and
No.
things that help you, 360 cameras and that type of thing.
You can go around a corner and flatten this thing, and all the electronics will keep that thing stable.
Exactly. With this is proper skill.
No,
Driver control.
This thing will tell you, it will scare you a little bit. Nothing's gonna, once it starts sliding, nothing other than your skill will bring it back. you know?
Exactly. And I feel like cars like this are a dime a dozen. Even in the older days or so, you didn't get many cars that did this either.
Cruising down the highway, windows down low.